Hello, this is Hooked by Happenstance. I'm Kendra, and it is time for week 19 of my Sunday Sunrise. Now, it is Monday evening, but the list I'm about to share with you, I did have everything on it to the point I'm going to talk about by Sunday night. I had even planned to film this video, but I was sitting on the couch working on one of the projects I'm going to talk about, and then I got stuck in a cat sandwich. Or rather, I was a Kendra sandwich with cat bread, and according to the internet, you're not allowed to move cats if they're comfy and sleeping, so I didn't, because I did not want to make the internet angry. That would not be good. So instead, you get this today, because I had to wait till tonight, because all day I was stuck in a kid sandwich, or a Kendra sandwich of kids, you know, the whole thing. So, here I am. Hopefully the internet is now happy and not mad because I let my cats sleep and they were lovely. And anyways, my Sunday Sunrise, if you are unfamiliar, is my solution to New Year's resolutions. I make weekly goals for my crafty life every week-ish rather than making year-long goals because those seem truly outlandish and self-defeating. Like, chance of me knowing in January what I'm going to accomplish by December is very, very unlikely because week to week can be challenging enough. So I make a list every week-ish, come and share it with you, and then a week-ish later we talk about my results. And hopefully these will give you some ideas for things that you can implement in your own crafty life or will just make you think a bit about your crafty life or otherwise. I just share these tips as far as my crafty life is concerned. I know that some people have told me they use some of the concepts that I employ in other areas of their life, and that is wonderful. My crafty life is just the majority of the things that I share here on the internet, which is theoretically not mad at me because I let the Kendra cat sandwich continue. Alright, so last week's list looks like this. So the first thing on my list for last week was that my online shop was going to reopen on Friday, and it totally did. And these adorable bags are now available at shop.hookedbyhappenstance.com. They have my new tags on them. Isn't that fun? And they say, let your dreams take flight. And the inside is the same purple fabric here. But I really, really like these bags. I have them available in 3 sizes. So that's the thing. If you're interested, head over to the shop. There's other things there as well. So I got that done. Next was the reveal video for my Yarn Tales reading shawl for the second shawl, which covered everything that I read in March. And I got that video filmed, edited, and uploaded as indicated on my list. And it was very fun, and I love that shawl. My shawl's together now. I changed the background on my phone. It now is a picture of all my reading shawls. Yeah. Yep, it's delightful. Next on my list was Fairly Prepared, which is my series where I am preparing for the county fair starting now, so I don't have to stress out in July. And the 2 things that were listed on it were sweater and tablecloth. Those were the 2 items that I wanted to work on. I finished my sweater. The ends are not woven in yet, so I'm not gonna share it, but I have finished all the crocheting and I designed it myself on the fly and I really like it, and I made it out of about 500 grams, almost exactly. There's very little yarn left. That's how I determined the sizing of all the things. The sleeves are as long as they are because that is the yarn that I had, as is the body length. But 500 grams of yarn that I was gifted from Carla. So that happened. Next on that list had been tablecloth, was the next thing I was going to work on for Fairly Prepared. Instead, I am continuing to work on my large Afghan. I'm still deciding what I want to do with the tablecloth. I want it to be substantially bigger. Well, I think fairly substantially. I haven't done math to figure out how much yarn I need. And I have not yet run out of yarn for the yarns that I have set aside for it. I just want to go into the part that I'm on with a plan. So it's still, I'm thinking about it. So instead, I picked another project that was on the list of things for me to do for the fair that was already in progress. So I am working on the large Afghan, and I have 2 skeins left, and then I'm done. I'm actually part of the way through one of them. So I have 1 skein, basically 1.5 skeins left, and then I will be done with that yarn. I'm a little sad. I'm kind of filming this video in part because I really want to work on it. That's what I was doing last night in my cat sandwich. But that yarn, I've had it for 5 years, and I had bought a case of it, and I've used it for so many things, or I've tried to use it for so many things. And it's gonna be kind of sad when it's over. Obviously it won't be over. It'll have the items and whatever, so just about everything I've made successfully out of it has been for me. So those will be, you know, part of my life. It's not like that yarn is going away. But it's like, I don't know, the end of an era of sorts. The Bernat Mosaic in the optimistic colorway has just been a staple of my crocheting life for about 5 years, which is just weird. Anyways, that has been the thing that I worked on instead. Next on my list was to let Peachlet play with my crafty life. The things I needed to do for that were finish Rosie and also do a new pick. I had talked about in the last Sunday Sunrise that my goal was not necessarily to finish everything to completion on this list. My goal was to make substantial progress on those things. And I did. I finished Rosie. She is currently winging her way. Well, she's riding comfortably in a box to Libby. She should be there shortly. And then I will share what she looks like in a future something. But not until Libby sees her. So Rosie is traveling. But I did not do a new pick yet. And the last thing on my list had been to mail out the May Bit and Pieces Mystery Club for my shop. I finished them, I packed them, I mailed them. They went out later than I had hoped because I am human, and sometimes I fail at things that I plan to do, but there's little extra goodies for everybody who was part of the club to make up for my failings, so I don't know, hopefully everybody is happy, and they should be there very, very shortly, because they went out Friday, Thursday, end of the week. So they should be getting there beginning-ish of this week. Okay, and the last thing that was on the list was just an overarching thing to think about, was that I wanted to focus on my current crafty commitments only, as in, don't just add things because adding things is fun, finish the things that you've started, because that's fun too. So I've been trying to focus on those commitments, and that has been an overarching thought in my head all week. Sometimes I'll think that don't start anything new, don't start anything new. But instead I thought, focus on your current crafty commitments. Crafty commitments, your current ones. And I found that to be a really helpful thing to think about. So we're going to kind of carry that idea forward into this week. Again, I have a larger list. Now I have suggested before using a tiny paper and a big marker, and this is still a relatively tiny paper, big marker scenario. While I was writing this list, considered getting a larger paper. Number one, because I could make it prettier, and number two, because I could add more things to the list. But you know what? I shouldn't add more things to the list. I should use my list with a limited number of lines, so that way I don't overcommit. So I've been trying to enumerate the steps to the goals a little more in the last couple of weeks because of two reasons. The first reason is that I can feel successful along the way. If I'm trying to put time and energy into these things but not necessarily finish them, it's nice to have something to check off because I don't ordinarily check the thing off till it's done, so things that had work done on them still don't get checked off and they feel kind of like, I don't know, like I don't get that good feeling of success, right? So I've been writing down the action steps so that I do have something to cross off along the way. It also is helping me to better see the actual time that some of these things take, because like I talked about last time, if I say I want to make a video about whatever, yeah, you can write that on one line and it seems like one thing, but it's multiple action steps. I have to plan and or make the things for the video. I have to film it, I have to edit it, I have to upload it. All of those things take time. All of those things have to be accounted for, and I need to be accountable for them. So writing them down in this format helps me with those ideas. So that is why my list looks like this, and it's pretty because that makes me happy. I picked out a rainbow of marker colors for the main topic ideas, and then I wrote down simple action steps in black marker. So instead of focus on current crafty commitments, this week we're going to build a rainbow of current crafty commitments. See? Build a rainbow of current crafty commitments. So the first commitment on the list, Yarn Tales. Ongoing series, and I need to edit the footage that I already have. I filmed ahead on some of those because I finished books. I finished far more books than I filmed for, but I need to edit the footage that I have and then upload those videos so that way they can come out when it's appropriate for them to come out. I also need to film the next chapter so that I can keep moving forward on my shawl. Shawl number 3. So exciting. Oh, it's so pretty, y'all. So pretty. I'm so excited for the first video, shawl number 3, to come out so you all can see the yarn. And then it really is several chapters into the shawl where you're just like, oh, that's good. I hit, oh, that's good, a little bit ago. So anyways, moving along to the next item on my list, which is fairly prepared. Again, another ongoing series, another crafty commitment. I need to film, edit, and upload the next installment, because part of the idea of Fairly Prepared is that it's something I do regularly to keep me making forward progress on my goals for the county fair. Now, that does not mean that I'm only going to show you things that are done. Again, I have to keep reminding myself that done is not the point. Making progress is the point, and so showing you that progressive thing and showing myself that, like, I am making progress even if I'm not finishing a lot of things. So, the things that I am focusing on for Fairly Prepared this week would be my large afghan, continuing to make progress on getting that done, weaving in the ends of that sweater that I finished the crocheting, and working on the dress. I started winding the yarn for that tonight, hand balling it out of the hanks, and I did all of the mini skeins tonight, and I will probably start in on some of the full hanks tomorrow. But as I've been winding them, it's giving me a good chance to think things up, because I'm not going to follow a pattern. I'm going to make it up myself. So I have to, like, think about what kind of elements and things I want to go into the dress as I'm going. Next is Let Peachlet Play with my crafty life. Since Rosie has, you know, gone on her journey, it's time for me to do a new pick. Peachlet and I need to sit down and play our little game, and then we need to execute that. So I need to make those things happen this week. And then down here, there are 3 things. It says thing 1, thing 2, and thing 3, and that is because those are secret things that I do not want to share with you. However, 2 of those things have 3 action steps, and 1 of them has 4 action steps, and you'll find out what they are when you do. Hopefully next Sunday, you'll know for sure what thing 1, thing 2, and thing 3 were. We'll see. That's my hope. Maybe. Yeah, that's the plan. So anyways, this is my plan for the week of how I am going to spend my crafty time and, like, businessy time too, because, you know, crafty crosses over all the things. So I'm going to be building that rainbow of current crafty commitments. Hopefully you will take a moment now to think about your week ahead, what things you would like to accomplish this week. Maybe make a goal or 2, write them down. Obviously, you don't have to make a rainbow, but it's fun. So I would suggest, if you have a pretty pen on your desk or something that makes you happy to write with, write your list in that, because it's fun. I often like to write each item on my list in a different color, just because it helps me to, like, differentiate them in my mind. And again, it's fun. And the point of all of this is that it be fun and functional for you, that you're enjoying what you're doing, but that the list is helping you to guide you to do the things that you say you want to do. And it's like an easy commitment writing it down, and then you can make it happen. I hope that you all are having a lovely whenever you see this. Hopefully I will see you again sometime this week, and I will see you all next time. Bye!